Today we're going to learn all about the rock cycle. So if you pull this page out, and you will also need this page here. We're going to do the multiple choice questions together after I read this. So follow along as I read this to you. I'm not going to read all the top stuff in the picture. You can look at that and figure that out, read some of that. We've been learning a little bit about that. The rock cycle describes the change and movement of materials on and inside the earth. The cycle is essentially a loop, stating that materials are neither created nor destroyed. They only change form when the environment changes. Sediments eroded from solid rocks are transported to a new location. In this diagram, the sediments are carried into the ocean where they settle and compact. Sedimentary rocks are created at the end of this stage. As the sedimentary rocks are buried deeper and deeper, heat and pressure causes physical or chemical changes in the rock, and they change to metamorphic rock. When the rock is pushed deeper into the earth, they can melt into magma. Once this magma solidifies, either inside the crust or after being expelled by a volcano, they change to igneous rocks. Eventually, the rocks are worn down through weathering, and the process begins anew with the erosion and transport of the new sediments. So we talk about the water cycle all the time. This is a rock cycle. So they're showing you that at the beginning, the top of the mountain, the water and the wind and maybe a volcano is causing erosion and transport. It gets deposited into the ocean. The streams are carrying it down there. And then it falls to the bottom of the water because it's heavier. So there's burial and compaction. And then it becomes sedimentary rock. And as it heats up down there, there's deformation and metamorphism. And it becomes metamorphic rock. So it's kind of like the flowing lava, which gets pushed to melting. And then it becomes solidification of magma, which becomes igneous rock, which makes its way back up to the top. So this is the rock cycle. And now we're going to answer some questions all about the rock cycle. On page 2 of this worksheet, you will answer questions based on the information we read on page 1. Circle the best answer. The Nile River carries sediments to the ocean. Over time, the sediments are compressed as more sediments are deposited on top of them. Which type of rock will be formed? So if sediments are being compressed and they get more sediments on them, obviously, it's going to become sedimentary rock. So A is that answer. Now, if you haven't done the rest, go ahead and pause the video, read the rest of the questions, and answer them on your own. When you're ready, push play, because I'm going to give you the rest of the answers. Number 2, the volcano, I do not know how to say this word. I'm going to do the best I can. Kalao on the big island of Hawaii is erupting, and lava is ejected from the volcano vent. The lava solidifies to form what type of rock? So this one is igneous rock, because metamorphic rock is that lava rock, but once it solidifies, it's becoming igneous rock. Number 3, off the coast of the Pacific Northwest in the United States, the Pacific Plate is being pushed underneath the North American Plate in a subduction zone caused by plate tectonics. Remember, I told you plate tectonics is where they're pushing against each other, the two plates. As the rock from the Pacific Plate is pushed under the North American Plate, is subjected to high temperatures and pressures. So which rock will be created from this process? So the one that is formed from high temperatures and pressure is metamorphic. That's like the changing rock. So sedimentary rock, you're thinking sediment. A lot of times it has fossils in it. It has little pieces of sand or shell. And we can find a lot of sedimentary rock around where we live. You know, there's a lot of pieces of it. Metamorphic rock is harder to find here because we don't have all the volcanoes and things going on that are pushing it up. And so ours, you know, would be buried deep where we wouldn't find it. And the igneous rock, we would also have a lot of that And that is the stuff that has solidified after going through all the changes. Number 4, in the Arizona desert, a sudden rainstorm washes sand and sediment into the Colorado River, which eventually deposits the sediments into the ocean. This process is called, so if you look back at your chart, where we had the sudden rainstorm, and the answer is right there. It says erosion and transport. So A is the answer for number 4, erosion and transport. Number 5, in the desert, wind picks up and carries fine particles of sand and dirt. As the wind blows against the rocks, the particles rub against the rocks and wear them down in a process called, so what's it called when the rocks are being worn down? It's right here. It's called weathering. And then which one of the following is not one of the 3 types of rock? So is it sedimentary, lava, metamorphic, or igneous? So lava is really not a type of rock. Lava is the hot, flowing liquid. After it solidifies, that's when it becomes a rock. But the lava itself is not a rock. And then true or false, magma is lava that has been ejected from beneath the Earth's crust through a volcano. Is it beneath the Earth's crust? And that one is actually false. The magma is not being ejected. It's what's coming. I had to look and think about it. It's what's coming up through the earth before it becomes the igneous rock. So it's not being ejected from beneath the Earth's crust through a volcano. So that one is false. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed learning about the rock cycle, and I hope you have a great day.